Hello, how's it going? Welcome to a brand new series. I'm Joe, if you're new around here, and as you can tell, we have gone back in time to 1998, and we are going to be taking the reins of Newcastle United as we look to change the course of history and get Newcastle that trophy that seemed so destined for them back in the 90s. Keegan's entertainers, of course, were just before this little era, but with the likes of Gary Speed, Rob Lee, Norberto Solano, and of course Alan Shearer, we are looking to qualify for the Champions League at the very least and have a good run in the cup competitions. And just a massive thank you really to the mad scientist who puts together these wonderful retro databases. I've always been a fan of them, but first time creating content on it, and I just thought it was the perfect opportunity really with this Newcastle side. We've just come to the end of the Journeyman as well, so we're on for a nice fresh short-term series, and this will be out very regularly on the channel at 4 p.m. UK time. If you want to see more, then do leave a like down below. It would be fantastic if we could hit 50 likes for the first episode. That would be awesome in April of the new game. That would be terrific. So do leave a like if you enjoy, and subscribe for daily sports and retro gaming content. Lots of exciting new series coming out over the next few months. But Newcastle United, and I have went away and put a new skin on. I'm using the Work the Space skin. A couple of little edits to it, but all in all, that's what I'm going for. Just to have that new, fresh feel to the game, and it does look terrific. You've got, of course, the picture of St James's Park there, the old logos as well. All of that is installed on the game, so you can see West Ham's old logo on that screen there, the old Premier League logo as well. You can see Arsenal's old emblem, Chelsea as well, and it is very nostalgic, and it is going to feel nice and authentic as well. If you have a look at Alan Shearer, we've also got the faces in there. Doesn't quite work well with this skin necessarily, but it doesn't really matter, does it? And obviously the retro kit's in there as well. You've got the old Newcastle United home shirt. It looks fairly similar to their Saudi Arabian third kit this year, the away kit back then. And the alternate kit is still the Saudi one, because obviously 2023 is still hard-coded into the game in some aspects. So yeah, you will notice that these are sort of just skin-based changes. When you're actually in the football match, it will be the normal kits, if you like, for the most part. But that's absolutely fine. Newcastle United, we're in a great position. Those years, of course, finished third in 94, sixth in 95, then second in 96 and 97, but had a rough season in 98 in 13th place. So we want to obviously build upon that and be back where we belong with the team this season. We are predicted to finish 7th. I think that would be a very reasonable position to finish. If you look at the squad, this is what we've got. Of course, the likes of Shea Given in there, Steve Harper, Lionel Perez is in there as well, French goalkeeper, as a backup to Shea Given. We've got Nobby Solano at right back. We've got Dabizas, Howie, Warren Barton in there, Stuart Pearce, Psycho still there, Didier Domi, Dietmar Hamann joined in the summer that year. Obviously a very, very solid player, went on to play for Liverpool and Manchester City in his career. Rob Lee still there towards the latter years of his career. Gary Speed, Stephen Glass in there as well, Andreas Anderson, Paul Dalglish, which is Kenny Dalglish's son, and then up top we've got the supporting duo of Duncan Ferguson and Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer is an elite striker in this save. I did a little test run of this, and Shearer was scoring goals for fun, so I'm looking forward to it, to say the least. If we look into the development centre, it has got Warren Teeney's retro regens, which means every year we will get regens from that year, if you like. For the first 24 years of the save, of course, to bring us up to 2022. So, for instance, in 2002, you might get Wayne Rooney or Wayne Rooney will come through the Everton youth system, that sort of thing. Louis Sahar is in on loan. We're going to bring him up to the senior squad and make sure he's playing. Andy Griffin is in there as well, of course. Future Newcastle United right back. You can see Aaron Hughes is in there as well. Very, very good players. And then if we head down to the under-18s, you can see Shola Ramiobi is in there. James Coppinger is in there as well. So lots and lots of very famous Newcastle United players are down there. And if we look at our youth candidates, they will come through as and when, of course. But there you go. There is our news report. We have been hired just using the same profile that I had with the journeyman save. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, seeing how we get on. We've taken over Ruud Hillet, who of course got sacked that season. I believe Bobby Robson took over in the second half of the year. We got a couple of players out of contract, Stuart Pearce and Rob Lee. We will decide that as we go on. If we look at the competition expectations, top half of the Premier League is what's expected. Quarter-final of the FA Cup and the quarter-final of the Coca-Cola Cup. So that's going to be interesting. Let me know down in the comments a prediction, please. Where are we going to finish in the Premier League? What round of the FA Cup are we going to reach? And what round of the Coca-Cola Cup are we going to reach? Let me know down in the comment section. First things first, we've got a match coming up against Leicester City. So I'll go ahead, I'll get into building a tactic, that sort of thing, put my training schedules in, and I will see you as we pick our team for the first match. Just something I'm looking at, the scouted players that we've got. I mean, look at these. I mean, I've already put in enquiries for Robbie Keane and Nick Barmby in there. We've got Haaland's dad in there, of course. That's going to be an interesting one. Brad Friedel in there. Frank Lampard. I mean, he's, between 8.2 and 9.8 million. We don't have that sort of money. We can maybe make one signing. Kieran Dyer, of course, somebody that did, of course, play for Newcastle in real life. So definitely somebody that we would like to bring in to keep that going, that tradition. Kieran Dyer in there, Emil Heskey in there as well. But, just having a quick scroll down, you've got Jermaine Defoe, 15-year-old Jermaine Defoe. Tim Cahill in there as well. What a player he is. And I'd definitely love to bring him in at some point if we could. We're going to ask him about that one, because I'd love to bring Tim Cahill in. But yeah, Jermaine Defoe, I mean, look at that. 15 years old. He is playing in the Premier League this season. Already looks okay. Third division standard at the moment, but of course could develop into somebody brilliant. I did have a little look at the free transfers as well. If we go into player search onto the free transfers, you can see Diego Maradona is in there. I mean, that might be an interesting signing. Let's bring him in on trial and see what could happen with that, because that would be hilarious, bringing Diego Maradona into Newcastle United. He is wanted by Melbourne Victory. Yeah, we don't want to let that happen particularly. Buffon is in here as well. Gianluigi Buffon, of course, already 20 years old by this point, which I think is absolutely hilarious, because he is still playing in real life. Still a very, very good player, valued at £15 million. I don't think there'll be any sort of sign of Lionel Messi yet. And what about the aforementioned Wayne Rooney? It will be a little bit of time before those sort of players come in, but the likes of John Barnes is in here. Of course, played for Newcastle United the season before this in real life. Probably kept them in the Premier League that year. Is Ian Rush still there? Yeah, he is still there. He's playing as a coach / striker. at Wrexham. I honestly can't think of any other big players, but of course Eric Cantona should be in there. Is he not? Eric Cantona? Am I a bit out with that? I thought Eric Cantona played until about that time. Maybe not. Mark Overmars, will still be in there for Arsenal. Very, very famous player. And Arsene Wenger back in charge of the Gunners. But look at that Arsenal team. Wow. Nawank Nakanu in there. Dennis Bergkamp. Freddie Ljungberg. And Thierry Henry is out there somewhere. He's playing for Juventus. And yeah, he's going to be very, very difficult to pick up. But we'll get a scout report on him. And we'll see what we can do. Maybe later in this series if you guys really enjoy it. Who knows? But yeah, still a few little things to do before we continue on to the Leicester City match. Oh, this is a tough one. Maradona's not great, but he's not actually that terrible. Go on then. Let's see if we can sign him. We're not going to sign him as penalty taker, and he is going to be a fringe player. Oh dear. Squad player. Yeah, you can be a squad player, and that's fine. Right, we'll give him £1,000 a week. I somehow don't think Diego Maradona would play for Newcastle for £1,000 per week. But he might not get a work permit anyway, so we'll just have to wait and see. Well, first signing of the summer transfer window is Nick Barmby. We've managed to get him in for a fee of around about 1.6 million. Could rise to 2.6. Very good player, actually. Nick Barmby finished off his career at Hull City, I believe. Played for donkey's years for Everton, and I think he might have even went to Liverpool at some point. But yeah, bringing him in, very, very happy with that. I think that's exactly the sort of signing that we need to make to bolster the squad a little bit. So yeah, very, very happy with that, and that could be a big signing this season. Right, here we are then for the first match of the season against Leicester City. We are going for a sort of gegenpress type style with a couple of little tweaks in there, but we're going for the narrow diamond actually to try and really take advantage of how strong our midfield players are, and certainly central midfield players. We're going to have Shea Given in goal as a normal goalkeeper, Nobby Solano and Didier Domi as automatic wing back. So if we are attacking later on in the game, they will bomb on. If we're playing a little bit more defensively, then they'll utilise those full-back roles. We've got Nikos Dabizas and Steve Howie in defence. We've then got Dietmar Hamann as our anchor man in midfield, Rob Lee and Gary Speed in the middle of the field, and then Silvio Maric starting behind Duncan Ferguson and Alan Shearer up top. We are going to play with a positive mentality. You can see some of the different settings that we've got here on the left-hand side. I've got my set-piece routines in there. Of course, Alan Shearer is going to captain us. Our vice-captain is going to be Rob Lee as well. So it's all going to be very, very exciting. I'm sure about that. We have got to give some squad numbers to some of the players. We're going to give Nick Barmby the number 8. We're going to give Silvio Maric the number 10 there. So let's get ourselves into it. Yeah, looking forward to this first match against Leicester City. It could be a disaster, but I'm hoping we actually play reasonably well. And without further ado, let's get ourselves into the action. Here it is, Leicester City. And look at that Leicester City team. You've got Robbie Savage in there, Neil Lennon, Emil Heskey. You know, lots of classic Leicester players in there. And of course, there is our Newcastle United team. And we will be pushing hard to try and get a victory in our first match here. Arsenal and Man United off to the perfect starts in their campaigns, and we are looking to follow suit. Away from home against Leicester City, always going to be tricky. We will zoom forward the highlights a little bit, and we'll stick on director cam. That seems good for me. And I'll just move myself a little bit so that you can see all of the players at the bottom there. But Duncan Ferguson, what a start it would be for him if he can grab a goal. Ferguson gets it in to Gary Speed, and that's just wide of the post. End of highlight, and you can see this wonderful screen on this skin. Solano into the middle. It's a header from Dabizas over the bar. I think it was actually Gary Speed that had the chance there, and already we're pushing hard in this match and making Leicester think. Guppy gets it for good interception from Dabizas, I think it was. Here's Solano bombing forward on the right-hand side. Gets it back to Rob Lee now. Rob Lee forward to Gary Speed. Here's Marich gets it forward. Alan Shearer with the shot. I think he might be offside. And VAR, of course, back in 1998, will come and check it. I think he was offside, though, and he was indeed. I think he should have left it for Duncan Ferguson, but that is the sort of play you can expect from Gary Speed, from Alan Shearer, going forward. But you can see all of the different screens on this skin. It is really, really lovely to be able to do that. I like the around the grounds one. I like to know what's happening elsewhere. But do let me know anything that you want to see from this, and I will try and remember to leave links to everything that I've used down below in the comments. And here's Duncan Ferguson. Oh, that was a chance. That was a chance. We are going to encourage the boys, try and get them going a little bit here. There is a header from Speed. Gets it to Zagrabas. Elliott. That's forward. Great ball towards Emil Heskey. Good block, but Haman gets it away. But here come Leicester City. I wanted to call them Birmingham there because Izzet was playing for them, and I think Izzet used to play for Birmingham. Here's Shearer into the middle. Duncan Ferguson's there. Here's Solano now. Solano back to Rob Lee. Rob Lee with the shot, and that's just wide. But much like yesterday against Man United in real life, lots of chances early on, but we haven't taken any. But you feel like once we grab a goal, then we can really start to play free-flowing attacking football. But here's Lennon, gets it to Guppy. Now, Ullathorne on the left-hand side, into the middle, headed away by Howie there. Now here's Savage, Sinclair, Savage, Speed, Shea Given. Gets it to Howie. Howie forward. Excellent ball. Here's Speed. Oh, that's over the top. And Alan Shearer has a great chance to finish here. Oh, hits the post. Oh, well, is it going to be one of those days for Alan Shearer up top? I hope not. I'd love to see him grab a hat-trick in this game. Ball forward to towards Duncan Ferguson. Diving header away. Here's Emil Heskey. Gets it to Guppy now, but Rob Lee with the tackle gets it forward. Marich is closing in, but, well, Keller gets it, clears it. Header from Solano. We're off and running again here. Rob Lee on the right-hand side. Gets it back to Solano now. Here's Speed. Speed forward. It's Duncan Ferguson. Oh! Oh, Donkey. Had a chance there. It's cleared away. Header from Speed. Gets it to Ferguson. You do feel like a goal here will just set us off and running. Here's Dommy on the left-hand side. What can he do with it? Gets it forward to Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer with a shot. Great save from the goalkeeper. He could have had a hat-trick so far had he stayed onside before. Here's Sinclair. Elliott. Now Howie gets it to Dabizas, to Solano. Solano bombing down this right-hand side. That's forward to Silvio Marich, who gets our first goal of the season. And it's 1-0 to the Toon Army. Leicester City will be disappointed, I think, with that. It was a decent move from us, but good ball forward from Solano. Marich with the goal. 1-0 Newcastle, but that was sort of the least dangerous chance that we've had yet, and that's the one that they've conceded. But here's Ullathorne, gets it into the middle. Heskey with a header, and Shea Given well positioned to grab grab the ball. But you can see Walker's in there as well. It's just awesome, isn't it? Keller boots it forward. Header from Gary Speed. Here's Didier Domi on the left-hand side. That's a beautiful ball forward towards Alan Shearer. Dive and header from Elliott back to the goalkeeper. And I know there has been a 1.4 update for this game. I know we're using the original database, but I'm fairly sure everything else, gameplay-wise, is headed forward. And I think diving headers must have been added into the game. But Alan Shearer, well, is it offside? He would be very unlucky if that's a second disallowed goal. And it is not. It is a goal awarded. And Alan Shearer, again, it felt like a fairly tame shot from Big Al there, but turned with his left foot. I think it was a little bit of a touch from Keller. I think that's maybe why it looked tame. But Alan Shearer gets his first goal. It's 2-0. Solano with a free kick, and he hits the post. And we come up to half-time, and what an entertaining performance from the Toon so far. Can we get a third just before half-time? I mean, that would sew this game up, wouldn't it? And also, because we are going back in time, in the time machine, we've still got 5 substitutions, all of that good stuff. Some of the nice things from modern day football are in there. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar, that unfortunately didn't change, so we've got the Qatar World Cup coming up. It'll be interesting to see if England win it with some of the players that we've got. Of course, in real life, the World Cup has just been, and we've got knocked out in the second round, I believe, back in 98. Maric with the shot. Good save by Keller there. And Maric does look like a good little player, to be fair. And we'll bring Nick Barmby on in the second half and see what sort of player he is. But here's Rob Lee. He gets it wide to Nobby Solano. Now back to Lee, and Dabby's ass with an interesting shot over the bar. But we have completely dominated that first half. It was a very good performance, and it is 1-0 to the 2-0 to the Toon. We're controlling possession, and I think Duncan Ferguson is going to be the player to come off. We're going to put Maric up there and see if he can play nicely. Nick Barmby's going to come on. I'm going to have him as an advanced playmaker on attack. I like that attacking 3 there. Nobody else, I don't think, needs to come off. Steve Howie looking a little bit worse for wear. Maybe Psycho can come on for him at some point. But here's Maric. He gets it back to Didier Domi. Now to Howie. Howie on the ball. Gets it back to Speed. Speed tried to get it forward to Shearer, couldn't quite manage it. Let's have a little look at the match stats. And you can see there, we can customise this actually, which is rather nice. Let's put the offsides in there. On target. Shots. Put all of that in there. Heskey with a shot, and that's just wide. I wanted to get that on camera, just in case it was a goal. And here's Guppy now. With a chance, whips it in. Ooh, headed away by Dabby's ass. It's in again, and, well, Shea Given with the catch. Now then, here's Elliott with the curler! Over the bar. Ooh, that was close. That was definitely close. Yeah, I don't think we want anything else on there. Here's Maric now. Maric gets it into Nick Barmby. Back to Domi. Domi on the ball. Here's Haman. Dietmar Haman with a shot over the bar. Rightio then. I think Howie's going to come off. We're going to bring Psycho on for him. Going to bring Warren Barton on as well. And we're going to bring Nobby Solano off for Charvet. Here's Domi. Nope, end of highlight. Let's go back to the overview screen here. Here's Domi with the throw. Gets it to Barmby. Lee. Lee into the middle. Oof, it's away by a target. Now here's Maric over the bar. I think it was actually deflected over by the keeper. And here's Stuart Pearce with the corner kick. Whips it in, headed away by Trevor Sinclair. Here's Maric again. Now to Stuart Pearce, end of highlight. That's a pity. Now then, Haman. Could we bring him off? I think Rob Lee could potentially go defensive mid. I feel he would suit that. So yeah, let's make a sub. This is a good little screen, isn't it? So Haman's going to come off. Rob Lee's going to go there as an anchor man. I think he can play well there. And we'll bring on Georgidas in the middle of the park. That looks good. So 3 minutes to go here. And it looks like the perfect start to the season for the Toon Army. A 2-0 victory. And hopefully it's going to be a clean sheet for Shay Given. And we're not going to give anything away here. But can Alan Shearer get his second of the game? Oh, onto the roof of the net. He could have had 4 or 5 today. He's looked very, very dangerous as Big Al. And I think we could be on for a very, very positive season. 30-plus goals is what I'm fancying if he stays fit throughout the year. I'd like to get Robbie Keane in as well, and we can obviously rotate that strike partnership. We got Louis Sahar to come in, and I think he will do a good job. So yeah, really, really exciting start to the series. Full time, 2-0 to the Toon Army, and yeah, we can be very, very pleased about that. Well done, lads. Good performance, and the perfect start, it has to be said. And, well, Barmby makes his debut, all of that good stuff. We're going to give Maric a nice little hug as well. And as you can see, we have got some transfers in the pipeline. Robbie Keane is under contract discussions. He could be somebody that comes in. By the way, Diego Maradona, he wants to go to Melbourne Victory instead, so a shame about that one. But unusually for me, we're actually going to come back without playing any matches in between because, of course, it's Manchester United and that classic Manchester United team of the 1990s. And of course, in 98-99, they did go on and win the treble. So this is the treble-winning side that we're going to be taking on in tomorrow's episode, and we may well play Coventry as well. We'll see who we get drawn against in the Coca-Cola Cup, but that was awesome. A trip down memory lane, and to see some of those players in there playing at their best as well, it is just wonderful. And what a top job the Mad Scientist has done with this and making an immersive universe 25 years prior to now. So do go and check it out if you haven't heard of it. All of the links are going to be down below in the comment section below. And I know today's video came out at 7 o'clock, but usually it will come out at 4 p.m. UK time. So do keep an eye on your sub box to see whether this series comes out. Notifications on, all of that good stuff. I do think it is going to be an absolute crackerjack of a series. Leave a like if you've enjoyed. 50 would be amazing for part 1. Subscribe for daily sports and retro gaming content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.